Pokémon, the highest grossing media franchise of all time, grossing over $95 billion. And with advancements in current technology, we are actually getting closer and closer to real-life Pokémon. But with their literal billions of dollars, surely the Pokémon company could spare some to recreate some of their famous monsters in real life. The question is, which Pokémon are worth the big bucks? Okay, so from looking at an online list, there are 896 Pokémon right now. You can't make me categorize that many. I refuse. Can I refuse? I refuse. So we're gonna have to trim some. So first, I'm gonna cut every Pokemon that's just a regular animal or object that doesn't actively change itself from its inspiration. So Pokemon like Pachirisu and Torkoal, they're out of here. This does unfortunately cut my favorite Pokemon, Poliwhirl. We'll live with that. Next, I'm gonna cut all the Pokemon that are actively disliked by the majority of the Pokemon community. I love Stunfisk, but it's gotta go. Licky can right off though. Finally, I'm gonna cut all the mythical and legendary Pokemon, because not even money can buy God. Yet. So after this purging, we were left with a total of 240 Pokemon. That is way too many. So I decided that the best way to purge even more Pokemon from my list was a cold, hard, emotionless formula. It's really easy. We're just trying to find the Pokemon that are too unpopular for anyone to care about. Wha-ha! And here it is. It's real simple to understand. Basically, we're just taking the Google results when you look up the Pokemon's name, times the time it took to find them, and that's going to give you your PPS, or your Pokemon per seconds. It's a real simple way to find out how popular a Pokemon is. So I ran the numbers through a few times to test them. My favorite Pokemon, Poliwhirl, got a PPS score of 360,000. Pikachu got a PPS score of 114 million. I think it's perfect. The gap surely won't cause any issues in our calculations. Surely. So I started to run the numbers with my trusty TI-84 Silver Edition at my side. Surely we could go through all 240 Pokemon in a timely manner and get good results. One of those happened. The results were too varied. I originally wanted to have it if a Pokemon had a PPS score of over 1 million, it could stay in. That wasn't gonna work because the results were like Pikachu was 114 million and then say Poliwag was a measly 100,000. Like the range was too great. So I had to think of another way to categorize these 240 Pokemon and pick out a select few that I could graph. So I stepped away from this for a while, and I thought about it. And then, I finally had it. Why would the Pokemon Company spend billions and billions of their own dollars on making every 6-year-old's dream, a real-life Pokemon, into a reality, if not for monetary gain? That's right. My thought process is, Pokemon in real life, sales will increase. But you gotta be careful about which Pokemon you're gonna put in and make real for sales to increase. With this in mind, I knocked out every Pokemon from each generation that still remained, except for the ones from Generation 1, because the Pokemon Company just loves nostalgia, and the first generation is still, they just love it way too much. And Generation 8, because it is the most readily available Pokemon generation, meaning they stand to make the most money if they make a Pokemon from either Generation 8 or just Generation 1 because they love that generation. Flawless logic. With this in mind, we can get rid of that pesky equation and start ranking these Pokemon, starting with no. Why do I call this category no? Well, in short, No, they shouldn't exist. Either they would die or we would die horribly, 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 horribly painful deaths. Because no, that would be terrible. Smash cut time. If it did that right, then all the Pokemon... Successful smash cut. There are definitely some fan favorite Pokemon here, like Charizard. The Pokemon Company loves Charizard, but it is a fire-breathing, flying lizard. We would all die. Kadabra just kind of woke up one day as a Pokemon. He was a normal kid. What's up with that? Alakazam is said to have like a 5,000 IQ, so he's like every 14-year-old on Reddit and would rule us all. Y'all ever see Electric Soldier Porygon? Ditto can copy itself into any form. That is destined for failure with its DNA. Wigglytuff has that soulless gaze that frightens me to my core. Hypno's a sex offender. Let's move on. They're kind of looking at me funny. After the nose, we have the S in the S. They're not gonna kill you because they can't, but they're more just useless and wouldn't serve any purpose in bringing them into this world. Yeah, look at all these Pokemon. Raichu can shock you, which yes, Pikachu can also do, but Pikachu's the company mascot, so he gets special privileges. Colossal, it's very ugly and could probably burn you. One of those has gotta be a turnoff for you. Dugtrio, one of its faces is angry, and also we don't know what Lovecraftian horrors lie beneath the surface. Abra would be down here with its evolutions, but Abra can only teleport, so it's less of a threat to us. Mr. Rhyme would be down here with Hypno, because they got tried for the same crime, but Mr. Rhyme got off with the plea deal, so he's a little better. I put the Fossil Boys here, which is just each of the Galar fossils, because they would be in pain. No loving god would bring Dracovish into this world. And with that, we are done with It's on to the ones that are fine. Ooh, my mic fell. Now we're getting somewhere. These are all the Pokemon that are fine. They're not gonna kill ya, but they do have a practical use and could be used in the real world, such as Lapras and Rhyhorn, transportation, Magmar and Cartcoal, heating, Electabuzz, electricity. I can go on and on. All creamy, you got your food. All of these, they won't hurt you. They'll just help you in life. Like, look at here, Dratini. It's a water snake. When's a water snake ever hurt you, ignoring that some of them are the most deadly snakes on Earth? Lickitung? Dogs lick you and give you kisses that way? Surely it's about the same thing. Corviknight is used throughout the Galar games for transportation, so that says to me he'd be great for transportation in real life, because that's how the real world works. And now, folks, it's time for our last tier. The yeses. These here are all the Pokemon that if the Pokemon Company was actually going to make a Pokemon in real life, it'd probably be one of these at this point. Pikachu, it's their mascot. That's kind of an obvious one. Eevee, they're trying to push Eevee to be their secondary mascot, so I think it's definitely between Pikachu and Eevee. But we also have all 6 starters. We have the Gen 1 ones and the Gen 8 ones. These are really likely because the starters really define a generation, you know what I mean? And that's it. That is every single Pokemon ranked, all 896 of them. If you don't see a Pokemon up here, then it isn't worth making in real life. Except for Poliwhirl. That one is worth every single dollar, Pokemon. I'm sending this video directly to you. Make Poliwhirl in real life. You have the money. It's just a big frog. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.